In a dramatic escalation of tensions in the Middle East, Iran has responded defiantly after major strikes targeted its strategic oil hub on Kharg Island. The attack has raised alarms across global energy markets, intensified geopolitical tensions, and triggered fears of a wider conflict that could affect the flow of oil through one of the world's most important shipping lanes. Here's what happened. Why does small island matter so much? And what it could mean for the region and the world. In the early hours of the reported operation, powerful airstrikes hit military targets on Kharg Island, a small but highly strategic island belonging to Iran in the Persian Gulf. According to officials and international reporting, dozens of military sites, including missile bunkers, defensive positions, and an airport, were targeted in the strikes. Despite the intensity of the operation, reports indicate that the island's vital oil export infrastructure was largely spared. This detail is critical because Kharg Island is the central artery of Iran's oil economy. Nearly 90% of the country's crude oil exports pass through the island's terminals before being shipped to markets around the world. In response, Iranian officials quickly adopted a defiant tone, signaling that the country would not back down. Iran warned that further aggression could lead to retaliation and potentially disrupt shipping through the nearby Strait of Hormuz, a narrow maritime passage through which roughly one-fifth of the world's oil supply flows. Meanwhile, military deployments in the region have increased, with additional naval assets being positioned to protect shipping routes and maintain freedom of navigation in the Gulf. Global markets have already reacted, with oil prices surging amid fears of supply disruptions. To understand why this incident matters so much, it's important to look at the unique role Kharg Island plays in the global energy system. Kharg Island is located about 25 kilometers off Iran's coast in the northern Persian Gulf. Though relatively small, covering roughly 20 square kilometers, it serves as the main terminal where Iran loads crude oil onto massive tankers bound for international markets. The island's deep, surrounding waters allow some of the world's largest oil tankers to dock and load cargo, something that much of Iran's shallow coastline cannot easily support. This geographical advantage has made Kharg the backbone of the country's oil export infrastructure. Pipelines from multiple major oil fields, including Abuzer, Fosen, and Dorid, carry crude oil directly to storage tanks and loading terminals on the island. From there, the oil is transferred onto tankers headed primarily to Asian markets. Historically, Kharg Island has also been a military target. During the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, Iraqi forces repeatedly bombed the island in an attempt to cripple Iran's economy. Despite heavy damage at the time, Iran managed to maintain significant oil exports. Because of this history, the island has long been considered both Iran's economic lifeline and one of its most vulnerable strategic points. The current situation also reflects broader geopolitical tensions that have been building in the region for years. Relations between Iran and the United States have been strained over issues including nuclear development, regional influence, and maritime security in the Persian Gulf. Military analysts say the strikes appear designed to weaken Iran's defensive capabilities around the island without triggering an immediate global oil shock by destroying the export infrastructure itself. But even limited strikes carry serious risks. Iran has repeatedly warned that it could disrupt shipping in the Strait of Hormuz if its energy facilities come under threat. Because so much of the world's oil passes through this narrow corridor, any disruption could send shockwaves through global energy markets. Beyond oil, the incident also has broader geopolitical implications. Regional tensions are already high, with ongoing conflicts and proxy struggles involving multiple actors across the Middle East. Analysts worry that additional strikes or retaliatory actions could draw more countries into the confrontation. At the same time, diplomatic channels appear fragile. While some international actors are pushing for negotiations to prevent further escalation, the rhetoric on both sides remains confrontational. So what does this mean for the wider world? First, global energy markets are watching the situation closely. Even the possibility of disruptions in the Persian Gulf can push oil prices higher because traders anticipate potential supply shortages. Second, the strikes highlight the strategic vulnerability of centralized energy infrastructure. When a single location handles such a large share of a country's exports, it becomes a powerful leverage point during conflict. Third, the episode underscores the growing importance of maritime security. Ensuring safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz is essential not just for Middle Eastern economies, but also for countries across Asia, Europe, and beyond that rely heavily on imported oil. Finally, the political implications are significant. A prolonged escalation could reshape alliances, military deployments, and diplomatic priorities across the region. For Iran, maintaining control and operation of Kharg Island is crucial to sustaining its economy. For its adversaries, the island represents a strategic pressure point that could influence Tehran's decisions in broader geopolitical disputes. In the coming days and weeks, the key question will be whether this situation stabilizes or escalates further. If additional strikes occur, or if Iran responds with actions that threaten shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, the crisis could quickly expand beyond a regional dispute into a global economic issue. For now, Kharg Island remains operational, and oil exports appear to be continuing despite the damage to military facilities. But the tension surrounding this small island serves as a powerful reminder of how fragile global energy security can be. As the situation continues to unfold, staying informed is more important than ever. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to follow the channel for clear, factual updates on the world's most important stories. Understanding the forces shaping global events helps us all make sense of an increasingly complex world.